But Dad, isn't it time for illegal ham in the face? But bro, where's the banjo?
Some Cleveland sports shows try to give you hot takes, but only one can give you a big old piece of hot ham. Welcome to Illegal Ham to the Face. Talking all Cleveland sports. And don't forget our Fat Boy Tuesday, where we also ham it up with some fun food topics. Without further ado, let's serve up some ham. Here are the Ham Boys, Fatty, and Big Bri.
What is going on, everybody? I am that fat guy, and welcome to Illegal Ham to the Face. Bri, can you hear me good?
You're good.
All right, Sherry, am I good?
You're loud and clear.
All right, well, let's do this show. I am always here with Big Bri.
Hey, y'all.
And Browns fangirl Sherry is with us always.
Hello, everybody.
And we have a whole bunch of people already in the chats giving us crap for, being late. We're always late. We're fashionably late all the time. Let's be honest.
That's right. Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Hey, when we're early, we're just time averaging. All right. So welcome to the show. Our show is brought to you by hkeehl and Lake Erie APA, also City Dogs Cleveland. We made our huge announcement last week, October 22nd. We will be at Melt Bar and Grilled in Independence doing a pregame show and a viewing party for City Dogs Cleveland. So cannot wait for that. We got a whole bunch of stuff going on there. Behind the scenes, there will be an illegal ham sandy. There will be some other gifts given away. City Dogs will be there with adoptable dogs. Matt Fish will be there. We will also have Peter Tellep from Voice of the Land will be there doing the production for us on that side. I think I've reached out to Always Positive Jay. I've not heard back from him yet, but we have a whole bunch of people coming to party with us, sit down, watch a great game, hopefully against the Colts, and just have some food specials and have a good time. So we got that. And then we always start our show off with a shout outs. Bri, do you have any shout outs this week?
I just got one, and it's on top of my head. And yesterday was the 7-year anniversary. I don't wear this hat very often because it's an elastic one, but it's still too small. So, but I love it. Taken back to the greatest sports night of my life. So reliving that a little bit, thinking about the entire day leading up to it, and then the celebration, and then the next day going to the airport to see the team come off the plane. It was simply put, it was a dream. Unlike anything I've ever experienced before. So yeah, I mean, whenever June 19th rolls around, I think it's deserving to shout that out.
All right, Sherry, do you got any shout outs this week?
No. How about Kevin Love had a baby? I mean, his wife did.
Get out of here.
Kevin Love?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
His wife had a baby.
Okay. Well,
I do believe. I saw it on the internet, so it had to be real, right?
Absolutely. 100%.
Hey, the internet tells me 100 things that I should do. And the only shout outs I got this week, I got a shout out Dutchman down at Belleville. Went and ate. I sent Sherry the pictures of the meatloaf that I had, Bri. Quite delicious. And
you didn't do the buffet?
No, Charlie did the buffet.
Oh, how was it?
Yeah, that's what you got to do down there.
Charlie, that was Charlie's first real experience with what was called a buffet. And let's put it this way, it blew his ever-loving little mind. As we walked up, I had Hope grabbed a plate for him and said, all right, pick out what you want. He goes, anything? She goes, yeah, that's what a buffet is. He goes, are you serious right now? So Charlie came back with the chicken egg noodles, mashed potatoes,
Yum.
Ham, a piece of fried fish, piece of fried chicken. Hold on, we are not done. He made a salad for himself with a whole bunch of black olives, 2 pickled eggs, a deviled egg, I can't remember what else he got. Yes, it was all you can eat.
A
So
question: Is there any other type of buffet other than all you can eat? Maybe I'm missing something.
I do know there's certain buffets that they charge by the plate.
Really?
Where?
Never been to one.
Me
Yes,
neither.
Oh, really? It's like
Yeah,
$6
never
a plate.
heard of it.
Like you buy one plate, put as much.
Disgust. I won't go to that place.
Well, that's fine with me because it's still cheap once you learn how to not let your
Oh
food.
yeah, you pile. Yeah, I
You got
mean,
to do a mountain.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's just one plate.
But no, his mind was blown. We ended up getting some cheesecake afterwards, some strawberry cheesecake. God, I forgot how good their rolls are down there, Bri.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my!
Absolutely.
And they brought out the rolls, and here's my thinking, because I was the only one at the table at the time, and when they brought the rolls out, and I looked,
Danger.
I'm like, shit, there's only 4, and I'm going, what if I eat them real quick and they bring out some more?
Yeah.
And then I was like, I got caught getting them out of the basket, and I'm like, oh crap! I'm like, you want to roll? The great thing is Charlie grabbed it, took like 2 bites of it. He goes, here, Dad, you can have my roll. I'm like, I love you, son. Got the apple butter out, Bri. Just
Raising them right.
just douse it in the apple butter.
Yeah, that picture is now the background of my phone.
The meatloaf.
No, the rolls.
Oh yeah. And
Yeah,
then
that's
and
Did they have the peanut butter spread?
they did. They had the peanut butter spread. It was
That's
there.
good
But
stuff.
I
You want apple butter?
I went apple butter. I don't get apple butter that often.
Can't go wrong. Sure.
And then, so as we were walking around the store, that's the other thing. Like, Alexander went to grab everything off the shelf. I had to slap his hands. He goes, Dad, look at this. I'm like, no, you're not allowed to have jam. No, you're not allowed to. Ooh, pickled eggs. I'll grab those. He goes, no, Dad, you're not allowed to have. I'm like, all right. But yeah, the meatloaf was amazing. And then Saturday, we ended up going to a place called Pancho's Tacos. And we celebrated the new boy's birthday with some chips, some salsa, some burritos and tacos. They got to wear sombreros for their birthday, which was amazing. Brian, I wish you would have seen the look on their face when they got the wonderful sombreros. And yes, Sherry did get to see her pick. She was quite happy about that, Justin. I have it now loaded up in with the rest of us. Queen Sherry.
There it is.
There. And then I also got to shout out I think it's Pleasant Hill Lake. Great time at the adventure course with the inflatable water park course there. And Bri, I have found out I am not a Navy SEAL anymore, even though I trained to go. I'm more like a manatee out of water, just kind of floating around.
It's quite a drop off.
It was I told my wife, we were sitting there both laughing at each other, and she goes, why are you laughing so hard? I'm like, not the fact that I'm just flailing around out here and it's all arms and legs and I'm just not knowing what the heck's going on. It's the fact I can picture myself on the shore looking at myself out there going, look at this badass trying to do James Bond moves out there. What is he doing? Like, look at this guy. He's not even jumping. He's just rolling around. And that's pretty much what it was, Bri. And then the other thing, and I'll shout her out. This is a lifeguard fail on her part. She let me swim my fat ass all the way out there to inform me that I needed a life vest. So I had to swim back to get a life vest on to swim right back out there. She waited until I got almost halfway out of the water. She goes, sir, you need your life vest. I'm like, what? She goes, you're not allowed out here without a life vest. I'm like, you couldn't have told me that 200 yards ago when I was swimming out here? Sir, go get your life vest. I was like, this is BS. So I paddled my fat ass back in and got my life vest and paddled my fat ass back out.
She probably thought you were just going to float like Justin said.
Hey, I can float out there. I started doing the backstroke. Like,
there you
kids
go.
laughing at me. All the kids out there just laughing at me. Then when I jumped on and started pushing them all off into the water, they weren't laughing that much anymore.
Take that, children.
I guarantee you made somebody's trip. Just from the story, they're going to tell their friends when they get back.
I want to know how many pictures you're in.
So the great thing is both my wife and I were out there, so nobody was taking pictures.
Oh, okay.
At least now there's probably pictures out there, but the best part so as we got out there, my wife was the first one to hit hit the rocks real quick. She went to climb up something. Her feet slipped out from underneath of her, and she hit and started laughing so hard. And then I'm like, honey, what are you doing? And then I go around her, and then I have to jump. Now, Bri, I have to jump over an obstacle.
Ugh.
Now, do you know my -2-inch vertical?
Unless it's a paper clip, that's not going to end well.
So I went to jump, and Hope said that every part of me was in jump mode. My arms, my legs, everything was in jump mode, except the rest of my body. She goes, you did not jump. She goes, you went to jump, everything floated down, and you just kind of fell into the barricade and flipped over. And she goes, and all I saw was legs and feet going like this, and I hear you giggling like a little schoolgirl on the other side. I'm like, honey, but hey, I had a blast.
I wish there was video. Man.
I told her, I'm like, I cannot wait to feel this pain the next day. And sure enough, I woke up in the morning, Bri, and I went to stand up to go get ready for breakfast, and I could not stand up. I was like, well, all right, I'm gonna have to stretch a little bit, boys, before we start moving. So, but it was definitely a good time, and we had a blast. The kids had a blast. Can't thank that place enough down there. If you go check it out, we stayed at the Comfort Inn Splash Harbor in Belleville, which is right next to Der Dutchman, right next to the Buckeye Express trailer, Brian.
That's what I was gonna get to. I was like, man, I wish I would have known that you were going down there. I'd have said you got to make a trip, even though it's the Buckeye Express, and yes, it is like all Ohio State stuff in there. One of the top 5 burger I think I've ever had there.
I tried to talk my wife into it. I couldn't talk her into it.
Why
time.
Hold on, her exact words, and this is. I'm going to ask you. I'm going to pull a legal ham right here. As we were driving down, Bri, when you're driving down 71 and you start getting down towards Mansfield, what are the biggest signs that you see heading south?
Grandpa's Cheese Barn.
Bingo. She looked at me and she looked at the kids and she goes, your dad's getting excited for no reason because food places are not tourist attractions. That's what she told me. I said, blasphemy. I was like, it is Grandpa's Cheese Barn, and there's a Swedish chocolate right next to it. Yep. Oh, man. I kept, so finally the boys were in with me. So every time we saw the
cheese
sign,
bar.
Cheese. Goes, no. I'm like, cheese. Even on the way back, as we passed it again, I hear Charlie in the background going, hey, Dad, guess what? I'm like, what? He goes, cheese. I'm like, yeah, boy.
Justin is in rare form tonight.
He gets all excited when somebody talks about cheese.
All right, Casey knows what's up.
Oh, he knows what's up. And yes, I did marry her. I love her. She makes me laugh. She keeps me laughing all the time. And
she keeps you under 500 pounds. Yeah.
Which is
because if I would have gone to the Cheese Barn, I wasn't getting out of there.
You never would have made it to the lake. It would have been Der Dutchman to Buckeye Express to the Cheese Barn, and then I would time to go home.
Hotel bed and like, Dad, let's go swim. I'm like, no, how about not? I got cheese cubes right here. You want one?
Let's all play a game. It's called Let's Take a Nap.
Solid game.
I tried that. It didn't work though. But I did get to sit poolside and just kind of relax and watch the kids.
Okay.
Everybody in that pool. So it was great. So that was my excursion. It was a great time. Nice little vacay. Came back to work. Realized I just want to go on vacation full time. So, Brian, we got to do something about retirement. We got to do it quick, bud. So anybody that's watching this, we need about 1 million followers. So just tell everybody. And then we just talk like this the entire time. We don't even need to talk sports anymore. We'll just tell funny stories.
About cheese.
And then we'll get Jose on here for Jose Cato story time. And that will just blow your mind because you don't even know what he's talking about half the time. Isn't that right?
That's
you got to put him on a timer, though. Yeah, you have to say, you get 4 minutes, speed it up, and you'll have, after 4 minutes, your head will be spinning. You'll have no idea what he's talking about.
Who did he
Even though he repeats himself 5 times throughout the story. Still not know.
Who did he call Sean Payton?
I have no idea. I don't know. I know he called. I used to be able to translate what the heck he was talking about. He was talking about this football player named Grunt. And I'm like, Gronk? You talking about Gronk? Oh yeah, Gronk. Grunt.
I miss that man, Bri. But we do have to get her in our show. Fun story time and fun times over. We got a whole month of fun shows coming up because there's really not much news going around. I don't want to talk about Guardians all the time because they're up and down. And I do have to say tomorrow night, one of their top prospects is finally pitching, only because one of our top pitchers blew out his elbow again, is now on the injured list. So I can't wait for that. And then we finally got rid of Mike Zunino, and we got the other Naylor up here. So we got the Naylor brothers. So there's your Guardians update from Illegal Ham to the Face. Justin, that is coming soon. Okay. You have to wait. What time is it? You got to wait at least 30 more minutes. All right. Before we ask Nick that. All right. So we do have trivia. Bri, it's your turn for trivia today, correct?
Yeah, I got something for you.
All right. Well, let me get in here and let me make Justin happy real quick with a little bit of a fatty fail right out of the gate, just to make him laugh a little bit. And let's get into our trivia. Trivia is brought to you by City Dogs Cleveland. And Bri, we do have another adoptable dog this week from City Dogs Cleveland. As soon as I figure out what the hell I'm doing on this side right now, Shanty is her name. I believe it's her. We're just going to go with that for now. I didn't do my homework this week, Bri. It's been a rough week. All right. I'm just coming back from vacation. Just give me a second. Give me a second. Rough. This is a picture of Shanty. She is an adorable pup. They're available to adopt at City Dogs Cleveland. Brian, we have another 2 dogs adopted from our show on City Dogs. So cannot thank them enough. Also, through the end of June, they are running their $21 adoption fee. So if you want to go adopt a dog, please go. It's $21. It is what they do at the end of every month. They call it clean out the kennel. And this is Shanti right here. And she is one of those that are available at City Dogs Cleveland. And let me run the ticker down here at the bottom to where you can get a hold of them by phone, by email, and by website to set up a time to go hang out with the City Dogs. All right, Brian. Let's get into our trivia as I take down Shanty's pictures here. Oh, I forgot about this one. There it is.
Oh, that's a good one.
So please go adopt Shanty. Appreciate that. All right, Brian. What is our trivia this week?
Well, I was gonna go. I have a college football one for you, but I think I'm gonna save it because I really didn't confirm the answers. So we're going NFL. We're going Browns. I'm looking for the last Browns quarterback to throw for 30 touchdown passes.
Oh, I know that one.
Okay.
I think. I know it's nobody from 1999 and on.
Okay.
Correct. Am I correct?
I'm not saying anything.
Correct.
Go for that.
Okay. I have a feeling.
Go with your gut.
Well, it's a big gut. I can go with a lot of things, Bri. All right, Sherry, we are going to give you, as always, our peaceful boot off until we are joined with Nick here at Fat Boy Tuesday, so we can finally shut Justin up of what a hot dog is, and it is not a taco. All right. See you on the other side, Sherry. All right, big fella. All right, let's talk some sports. All right. As I always say, we're in the fun times of July here, June, July, where there's not a lot of sports going on. Basketball's done. Baseball's in its little midsummer grind. We got some golf that we could talk about. We will talk a little U.S. Open tonight. But I do want to bring up some Browns talk that we are getting ready to talk about. And there's been some questions going on, especially through Browns Twitter, especially on the shows right now, of where our Browns superstars are at, Brian. One of them was brought up. It was Myles Garrett. And Myles Garrett has been one of the most dominant defensive players that we have had for Cleveland in a very, very long time, Brian. But the thing is he still keeps falling short of one major goal of his, and that is defensive player of the year. Now, last year, got sidelined because of a car accident, wasn't 100% healthy. Year before that, kind of tinged up a little bit. Bri, do you think this is a year that we can finally get Myles Garrett the defensive player of the year?
I would say, in my opinion, it's his best opportunity to. And I say that because of mostly the defensive scheme that he's in. And if you go back and look at Jim Schwartz's defenses, he puts a major emphasis on the defensive line, but also because of the guys that he has with him on the defensive line. I think Dalvin Tomlinson's probably one of the top defensive tackles that he's played with, and certainly Zadarius Smith is maybe the best defensive end that he's played with. I feel like Zadarius Smith is kind of the defensive end that we were hoping Clowney would be, because he has the past stats to back up why he's so good. And I think the fact that he's playing in a 4-3 for the first time since I think he said high school, it might take a couple weeks to work that out, but for the most part, that shouldn't be a big deal. And let's just hope that that Schwartz gets creative with Myles Garrett, because how long have we been hearing for the last few years, 3, 4, 5 years, that they're going to be creative with Myles Garrett and where they have him line up at and move him around and try to get him off. Because if you line him up at the same spot every time, offenses can game plan against that. If we know Myles Garrett is over here, we'll shift the running back over there. We'll have the tight end start over there. We'll make sure we chip block him or double team him. So if you switch him up, move him around, it's not quite as easy to know what's coming. So yeah, I'm excited to see Myles. Certainly he doesn't lack any talent. He's probably one of the most talented defensive ends in the league. And typically it's kind of, as we've seen over the last few years, a pass rusher's award to win.
I think like you, I think this is the year that he could do it. If any, this one, because I think for once he's going to have Jim Schwartz is really going to move him around, and I hope he does, and let him play whatever mismatch that he can pick out on the offensive line, and just let Myles Garrett eat. Because at that point in time, if you got to have two on him, somebody else is freed up, and right now it's looking like they made a huge emphasis on our defensive line with the defensive tackles to stop the run and speed on the edge. And the way it's looking, most of these edge guys could also play inside too. With Obo could play inside. So it's going to be really cool to see, Brian. I'm actually kind of excited about it because I would love to see Myles Garrett just line up over center one day and just annihilate a center. I put him on his ass, right up the gut, right at the quarterback. Like the Clowney hit from Michigan. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, I remember it very well. I mean, untouched, just destroyed the dude.
Oh, that's true. Said Schwartz has never had a edge rusher like Myles Garrett pedigree. Closest he had was Javon Curse, early Javon Curse.
Wow, that's going back.
Yeah. So I mean, it's going to be really good to see, and I hope that they attack and just let Myles Garrett pin his ears back and just let him go. Like you said, he had 16 sacks last year. He's still giving you double-digit sacks. He's still giving you progress. The one thing I do want to see out of him this year is not getting completely winded in the fourth quarter when you really need him. We've questioned that a few times because when the game's been on the line, we've asked where the hell have you been at, and it's because he's gassed because he's been doing everything in the first, second, third quarter. When it comes to fourth quarter, he never really got a break. So hopefully they learn how to keep him, get him a break, and then keep him full tilt all the way through the whole game. So I think that's what we're going to see with this Jim Schwartz defense, Brian. And I hope so, because it would be awesome to see some awards come Cleveland Browns way. We don't get them that often.
Yeah, and I think the Browns view, and I kind of think the same way as a fan. I think we have 3 starting quality defensive ends, and we also have 3 young guys who are looking to prove something. So you certainly, I don't know how many guys they'll put on the roster, but you got depth at the defensive end position. And so if you need to give Myles Garrett a break, obviously you lose a little bit having Zadarius Smith and Okoronkwo out there, but they can get the job done. One thing I'm excited to see is Zadarius Smith and Myles Garrett on the same side, because one thing I don't know if we've talked about yet, listening to an interview with a guy who was a reporter with Minnesota, is Zadarius Smith is a very good pass rusher up the middle. So you can stick him. I don't know if you necessarily line him up as a defensive tackle or you just have him stand up over the guard or something like that. But you have those 2 guys on the same side. There's no way they can double or triple team Myles Garrett. So yeah, that's something that Jim Schwartz should have a lot of fun with, playing with those guys. And then Okoronkwo is more of a speed rusher, so he could be on the outside on the other side. And yeah, it's fun to think about the possibilities, especially if you get teams in the 3rd and long situation, because they can just pin their ears back and get after them. And we have a good enough secondary where we should be able to cover for 2, 3, 4 seconds, however long as it takes. And then, there's nowhere to go with the ball. That's an easy sack.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, this year's going to be fun, Brian. I just can't wait. We do have more Browns talk, but you know something, Brian, our guest is here. We can't wait to bring him on and shut up Justin. Been doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes. I got to bring Sherry back in because she's excited. She's super excited for this. So let's bring in Boy Tuesday started. Let's bring in our special guest as soon as I figure out what the heck I'm doing again. Right? I'll tell you what, when I go on vacation, everything gets all screwy and just I don't know what I'm doing anymore, Brian. Just a complete yeah.
And now it's time for Fat Boy Tuesday.
All right, let's bring him in, our friend of the show. We love him so much. Nick, thank you so much for joining us, bud. How you been doing?
I've been doing great. Thanks for having me, guys.
What's up, Nick?
For those that do not know who this is, are you still number 4? I thought you were moving up in ranks.
I thought I was too, but the missus has had something to say about that, keeping me one spot behind her. So for the time being, I'm still number 4.
All right, so number 4 competitive eater in the world, holds records for pistachios, for eggs, boiled eggs. He also has completely crushed a 5-pound peanut butter cup. And you are our food aficionado of this show, so we love having you on to talk all this with us. Let me bring you up over here because they don't need to see our faces anymore. They need to see you. First off, how is the family? How is the little one growing big?
Yeah, Max will be 2 July 8th. He is in all like 4 T clothes, so he was a giant baby, but he's doing great. Very, very smart. He's got his alphabet, his colors, his numbers up to like 13. Most of it, a lot of the Japanese characters too. Mickey's teaching him Japanese, and he's already surpassed me in Japanese. So it's he's smart like mom. He's very, very smart like his mother.
No, that's probably a good thing, though, isn't it?
Yeah, that was excellent. Perfect. Yeah.
So Justin said he likes the belts in the background. Now, those are Mickey's belts, I believe, correct?
Those are her belts, yes. So every morning when I walk into my dining room, I get to stare down these 8 pink belts, none of which are mine. We do have some world records over on that side, out of frame. This is one of her Nathan's trophies. This is her Mickey Pseudo Day. There's all types of stuff to remind me of my mountain that I still need to climb.
Now, do you have some things over top of her, though? Like, is there some things that you just hold over top of her?
Yeah, like I can bench way more than she can. No, I'm just kidding. The last, obviously, like pistachios was cool. So we have the giant check and the huge pistachio belt in the other room. She sat out of Wings for Wishes this year, but I won the Miami Wings for Wishes title, which is going to be interesting because she has the last 2 Buffalo Wing titles. So actually, the 2 best chicken wing eaters on the planet through MLE are in the same house. And this September, live from Buffalo Wing Fest, we will see who the true champion.
Oh, so Buffalo, Brian, we got to go to Buffalo Wing Fest in September.
I'm there. Yeah. They go big boneless.
Probably sure that guy.
Oh, there's
there we go. Now we're talking.
I asked if she would call me Mr. Wonderful for the next 364 days after I won this.
I knew exactly what she was going to say. I think.
I was going to go with Ted DiBiase with that one.
That works too.
School,
yes.
$1 million man right there.
Yeah, I'm the Million Pistachio Man.
I have so many questions.
Go ahead, Sherry.
Okay. Look, see, I wrote a list. Okay. Not just myself, but, Dr. K, he's fascinated because he's very much into metabolomics. And so how do you train? I mean, because what he hypothesized was because you don't have body fat, it allows, you have a little body fat, I'm sure, but your percentage is so low where your stomach is that it allows it to expand without hampering. That's just our guess here at the Nerd House.
Part of it. That's definitely part of it. Because if you had a balloon and I pressed on the outside, to say if someone who was heavier, thicker layer of visceral fat, it's going to be much inflate that balloon. So when we're in better shape, we definitely feel like we have better capacities. And so that's one of the things that definitely plays into the ability to fit. I think we combined for almost 31 pounds of strawberry shortcake last weekend.
Wow. So how do you train for that? What is your equivalent of stretching? Are you killing Whoppers ahead of time or
So you definitely want to be empty going into the contest. So we'll be solids fasted for full capacity contest, probably about 4 hours out. And then, but to train, we'll try to emulate contest conditions as closely as possible. Like in a few days, I'll be prepping a whole bunch of hot dogs, plating them 5 to a plate, having my Dunkin' cups, having my, liquids, putting 10 minutes on the clock and just kind of a practice like you play situation. And you may lean into certain things. Like if your strength is space, maybe you need to work on speed. Or if your space is speed, maybe you need to work on, creating more space and kind of stretching that bag out. So there's a lot of things that play into it. And then some of it, I think, is just genetic predisposal. We all know the guy who was jacked in 6th grade or the kid who was 6'8", so he played college basketball. There are people who we always knew that just had an immense appetite and were able to fit more. And I think some of us are those people.
It's funny you say that because back when we lived in Syracuse, one of our friends, she's Japanese, tiny little Japanese lady. She could put food back like you would have. It was amazing. We went to Dinosaur Barbecue. She ate a whole chicken and she was still going.
Yeah.
Brilliant scientist, but my God.
Yeah. Sometimes a lot of that plays in. Miki's about 4 to 5 inches shorter than I am, but if we sit down, we're about the same height. Because she has a longer torso, which actually in certain Asian ethnicities is more common, is a longer torso and shorter legs. That's why if you see a lot of Asian bodybuilders, they'll have these just gorilla jacked legs and kind of a longer torso. And so that's probably some of her predisposal to be able to fit just immense amounts of food.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So Nick, the question that we've been getting on here, and Justin has been busting our balls for probably the last 6 weeks. And we're going to bring it up to you now because you're the guy to ask this question. Is a hot dog a taco?
Oh, no. It's not a sandwich. It's not a taco. A hot dog is a hot dog, and that is it.
See, I told you, Justin. I tried to explain to him because we had this argument of what would you consider a sandwich and what's not a sandwich? And we were talking about it. And they're like, well, what would you consider a hot dog? I'm like, a hot dog's kind of its own thing. Kind of chili's not a soup. Chili's its own thing. It's just
good point. That's a good, I like that comparison.
for some odd reason in his warped little head, he thinks that a hot dog is a taco, and then he tries to play
Every week.
And I was like, you know something? Once we get Nick on here, I'm going to ask Nick, and once Nick squadouches you, all right, you're just going to take it. So,
yeah, I get the concept, and I like the idea of possibly having a fusion of a hot dog taco, if you will. But right now, no, those two things are separate. Intriguing, but definitely separate.
So, what's your goal this year? I mean, you've maxed out at what, 44?
In contest, 44.5 is the highest I've done. I've done much higher than that at practice at home, but sometimes it's easier to practice than it is to play, so to speak, because you can kind of make things ideal, you know.
Yeah.
But with that
not
said,
knocking over your water cups and
you don't have
random foot or somebody streaking behind you as you're trying to eat.
Yeah,
I love New York.
Yeah, it's basically that said. My goal into every contest I go into is to win, and obviously I'm staring down the barrel of somebody with, I believe, 15 at this point. But it's all impossible until it isn't. You know, Matt pulled it off in 2015. People said Kobe was unbeatable until Joey beat him. People said Sonya was unbeatable until Miki beat her. So everyone's the champ until they're not, basically. So while I have an immense amount of respect for what Joey's done, what he's accomplished, and what have you, he's beatable. You know, Jeff is a great eater. Bartley Weaver just put up 40. My buddy Bartley I've been practicing with. I either practice with Bartley or Miki. So I have literally some of the best training partners you could possibly have on the planet. And Miki would tell you, if my body is capable of it on that given day, there is not an ounce of quit in there, probably to a silly extent. That I will push it with everything I have. And my goal is to come away on July 4th with the yellow belt around my waist to hang next to all these pink ones.
Yeah, you're going to need that. So at least you have one up on her and be like, oh, I did on this side. So it's okay.
Yeah. And mine will be way in the corner over there.
Yeah, and every argument, you just point it. You just tap on it. You just tap on the belt.
And as long as I'm as long as you're the reigning champion, you have an argument. You can't lose it after that, obviously. But, you know.
So to blow everybody's mind with how much has been consumed by this gentleman over here. So you have the hard-boiled egg is 50 hard-boiled eggs in like
that one makes me weak. That one makes me weak thinking about it.
Just
the smell. The smell.
Hard-boiled eggs in 3 minutes. Okay, you've had over 200 wings in 10 minutes, right?
Wow.
Yeah,
I think it's like 233 you had. So just because we're sitting here, we joke around about it because everybody's like, oh yeah, I can eat like 50 wings. 233 wings. Like I get like 30 and I'm like starting to get the meat sweats and just trying to figure out if I'm going to push through to get to the next 10 or if I'm just going to shut it down now. But 233 wings is just unreal. Is there some other? Now, is there like a goal that you want to get? Like, is there one that you're thinking of that you want to try to get a record for?
That's tough. Obviously, the most elite title, so to speak, would be hot dog. So that's a big one. But I would say like if Spam came back, so I did 12 cans of Spam in 8 minutes, which is about 9 pounds. Is
it cooked or non-cooked?
No, it was just popped out of the can. So that was a good one.
I could feel every rabbi cringing.
Yeah, pork roll in New Jersey, in Trenton, New Jersey. For those familiar with pork roll, which is probably everyone outside of New Jersey, that's a fun contest for me. I really like that one. It's a pretty tough one.
I'm getting the meat sweat.
I'd like to get about 50 pork roll sandwiches in 10 minutes. That would be a goal to hit that number. I don't know. It's tough because there's so many fun contests. Minnesota Rib Fest should be coming up at the end of July, and I would like the Minnesota Rib Eating title. Miki's got some family that are probably going to go, and you love to, they're going to go and they're going to be rooting you on. And one of my favorite things is when like I can make people happy, and proud and stuff. So that's really cool to be able to do it in front of those people. And for whatever reason, the people of Minnesota probably don't know I'm a Packers fan, so they're a big fan of mine. Yeah.
Keep that one. Yeah.
No. Once you win it, that's when you rip off your shirt and show them the back.
Yeah.
There you go.
Throw the cheese head after you're done. And just
wear the hat. Pull out the hat.
Might have to walk home.
So with the rib one, so how they do it? Do they give you like a bone at a time, or do they give you like a full rack to start out with?
So it's a few racks, and they'll be in like a big, think like lasagna dish, kind of. And everybody, they're pre-weighed. So let's say it's roughly 6 pounds or something. And then they may have to give you another one if you burn through the first tray into the second tray and the third tray. But all the trays are pre-weighed, and they do it by displacement, kind of like they do the wing contest, because they're like snowflakes. Like no two wings are alike, similar with ribs. You have to do it by total weight displacement at the end of the contest.
That might be the podcast's new motto. Wings are like snowflakes.
Now, can we get you interested in a Cleveland pierogi contest?
What was that one?
A Cleveland pierogi eating contest.
Oh, dude, I love pierogies. I would totally do that. 100%.
Labor of love.
I was going to say, they do that every year. And I'm telling you what, if you could put down some pierogies, we'd love to have you here in Cleveland.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Yeah, that would be awesome, because like I'm a big pierogi fan. Especially if I had a bunch of different kinds, But so if I didn't on that sounds amazing.
Did we lose you? Oh, nope.
Did we lose him?
You froze for a second.
For a second. Uh-oh.
Justin asked, "What kind of pizza is your favorite?"
My router was messed up.
Chicago.
Oh no. Oh, there we go. There you go. I lost you guys for a minute. Sorry about that.
That's okay. Justin asked, "What kind of pizza is your favorite? New York, Detroit, or Chicago?"
Ooh. Why does he have to pick one?
So this
That's
is
not
probably
nice.
going to make him upset. I am from Connecticut, so that would be New Haven style pizza.
Oh, that's
pizza.
good.
You probably go to Frank Cafe's and you get a white pizza. That's one of my favorites, because like, as much as, again, some people would be really upset, I'm not a huge fan of red sauce. It's not my deal. I'll eat it, of course, happily, but I want it covered in cheese, or prefer like a white pizza. But again, all pizzas I will eat. I haven't been fortunate enough to actually be in Chicago for Chicago style pizza, so I can't speak accurately on that.
Next time, I have a list. When you go, I have a list.
I'm sure I will post on social media, like on Twitter.
I'll let you know. Wink, wink.
Yeah, just send me the list so I know where to go.
Because this one place, they use like it's like a manhole cover, like of sausage. It's like a whole thing of sausage that they use as one of the layers in the pizza itself.
Be legit.
Instead of just crumbled, they're very generous. You get like a manhole cover of sausage on top of your pizza.
It's
With the cheese and the sauce.
Yeah.
All right, so we ran a Twitter poll. All right, and it was a fun one that we kind of do. We're trying to do a Twitter poll every week, and I'm trying to bring it up because I have it saved here. So Sherry put it up, said, "If you're going to do any kind of contest, what kind of contest are you going to do?" So we threw out hot dog, donuts, wings, or other. Okay, and I threw out donuts because I can put down some donut holes like you wouldn't believe. I'm like a little, just like a shop vac with those things. They're like little, just pop right in one after another. What is the hardest food for you to eat?
For me personally, that's tough. In contests, probably a contest that would be like a pure capacity, like tamales in Louisville, Texas. I love traveling, amazing people, but tamales have a very strong flavor, and they go down so quickly, and you're eating so many of them with that strong flavor. It gets really difficult once you get north of like the 50, 60, 70 range for the flavor not to start to get to you. Not because they're bad, it's just because that sheer quantity of food, your body starts to fight you. Because it could be your favorite food in the world, but if you get to 12, 14 plus pounds of it, your body starts to say no.
That's like cement. It's like tamales, like cement.
Yeah, there's a lot. It sits very heavy. Those.
Oh, sure does. Woo.
Yeah.
So, Bri, you got any questions over there?
Yeah, I was just, as he's talking, I'm thinking we're very fond of this this grilled cheese place in Cleveland here called Melt. Have you ever done like a grilled cheese challenge? They have one. Do you know how big it is? Is it 3 pounds of grilled cheese or
No, it's like 6.
6 pounds? Yeah. Have you ever tried anything like that with that much cheese? That's got to be difficult.
I'm trying to think. I did like a 12-pound team.
A 12-pound what?
It's meant for a team of 2.
Okay.
So I tried it myself and finished it in like 40 minutes.
Sheesh.
That was a lot of cheese. You know, as you can imagine. I think it's a it's like a 32-inch pizza. I think. So that was a lot. But as far as just like pure cheese, that sounds amazing, and I'm sure for about the first 10 minutes it is amazing, and then after that, okay, that's enough dairy. You know, but it sounds great. If I'm ever out there, I'll totally try that. So,
yeah, kind of has some residual effects. And my other one was when you ate all those hard-boiled eggs, did you stink for a while after that?
I probably did. Fortunately,
nobody told you.
Right after I ate those hard-boiled eggs, I got down on one knee and proposed.
Wow.
Yeah.
You eat 50 hard-boiled eggs in 3 minutes, and
oh gosh,
probably wooed by my egg-eating ability.
Sure.
As any lady would be.
Yeah, well, it was in the bag. I could have asked anybody within a 1-mile radius.
Absolutely.
But no, it was, and fortunately, I think she was. It was such a romantic moment. She was basically her senses were numb to my steak for the next 24 hours.
Thank goodness.
Sure. Yeah.
Now hold on, that's yolk and all too, right?
Oh yeah, just hard-boiled eggs. Like I got them, I think. It's 4 seconds, which I was actually frustrated because I did a practice run at home the week before and did it 15, so I wanted to get closer to that.
All right, so there is a story out that with the 5-pound peanut butter cup that you ate, you had to eat 2.
Oh yes, because let's go there. So I made this peanut butter cup, and I was actually originally so I was a criminal justice major school, but I was originally going to go to culinary school. So I love baking, love doing chocolate work, cookies, things like that. Yeah. And so I was excited about, I'm like, I can do that. I could make that. And she's like, are you sure? I'm like, not really, but I'm pretty confident. So I did it and I made it and we filmed it and it came out well and I was psyched and I ate it with my coffee and it was really rough after the 20 bites, but I finished it. Literally 2 days later, I'm waking up and I'm about to go to the gym. She's like, "Oh, you're gonna go to the gym, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "How bad was the peanut butter cup?" I'm like, "It was kind of rough, but it was delicious. It was just a lot." She's like, "Would you want to do it again?" I'm like, no. Why? She's like, "I may or may not have deleted the video by mistake."
Oh no.
And she's like, "But she told me her original plan was to just remake one, have it ready, and then when I got home, go, hey, surprise, do you want to eat that?" And I'm like, needless to say, for the sake of the YouTubes, I decided to remake my peanut butter cup. This time, the second time I actually used, I think, semi-sweet chocolate instead of milk chocolate, just so me personally, I prefer semi-sweet chocolate. And then got to eat it all over again, much to my GI tract's dismay.
I just had to mute my GI tract. It was getting rather loud over here.
Oh my Lord. Was the peanut butter cup timed? That was the one question.
I don't know. I think it was probably about 20 odd minutes. I did it in. Maybe I probably could eat it much faster. But with sweets challenges, I would advise anyone
It's hard.
Safely go quickly, because once your blood sugar really starts to climb, you start to feel kind of poor. It's not really
right.
Did the 13-pound bowl of Lucky Charms. That was after about 30 minutes. She was coming in because we were filming, and she's like, "How do you feel?" I'm like, just leave me alone.
Awful.
This
is
a bad idea.
That would be fun for me. I wish we had a glucometer and we could just get you every 10 minutes. That would be fun.
Yeah, it would probably read just stop.
400.
Stop.
Your pancreas is begging you to stop.
One at a time.
Yeah.
How does one eat so many pistachios? I am curious about that because did you have to open them or were they pre-opened for you?
No. So they weren't pre-opened. They gave us a huge bowl, normal shelled pistachios. We had to break them up and eat them, discard the shell, and that again was by ultimately weight displacement because obviously some pistachios are
Gotcha.
tiny thin, don't open, whatever. And Meek and I practiced leading up to that one. Just got a bunch of wonderful pistachios and did those at home. And I thought it was kind of a fluke because in probably 80% of our practices, I was winning kind of handily, and we would just grab 15 or 20 at a time and just go. So you won, and I'm like, okay, maybe she's just working me and she's gonna just downshift come the contest. But what I did have going for me, I think, was calloused fingers from lifting for the past 4
Yeah, okay.
and just hand strength and endurance from lifting for the past 14 years. All
right.
And it was just a good day. So I think it's like 188 or something like that is the number, 181, 188. And it felt pretty good when I was done. I was next to Joey, and Joey's like, you did pretty solid. Like, he could see that apparently. And of course I was like, yeah, maybe, and I don't know. We'll see how it goes. And then as they kind of kept announcing names, I'm like, still haven't called me yet. Still haven't called me. And then they called me up, and I was actually sitting there. I'm like, Morgan, I'm just so angry because I thought Adrian won and I got second. And you can actually see the surprise on my face when Sam announces that I was the winner. And that was really cool because that was my first, other than qualifiers, that was my first professional victory in a year. Awesome crowd. Was super appreciative to Wonderful Pistachios. They actually just sent me a Father's Day gift package. So
that's awesome.
Cool. Sweet.
So you got the hot dog eating contest coming up here on July 4th. Mm-hmm. Is there another one after that you were getting into that you're excited about?
I'm excited for almost every contest that comes down the pipe, to be honest with you. But I think right now I'm relatively confident Minnesota Ribs will come back. That's a really fun contest with a great crowd up there. Mickey's got some family we can see when we go up there, so that's also really cool. Then in August, I know there's banana pudding that I didn't get to compete in last year. That one would be pretty exciting. I think that's in like Alabama. Banana pudding would be fun. And then of course, like Buffalo Wing Fest is a big one. They have an amazing sponsor. It's at Highmark Stadium.
Oh, wow.
Where the play. It's right in the center of the stadium. It's an awesome crowd. The people of Buffalo really get into it. It's a 2-day there's actually 2 contests in 2 days. The first one is first to finish 5 pounds of food. And the second day is Buffalo Wing Fest. She's got 2 of those titles. I've got the other wing title. And I really, it'll just be small bragging rights in the house. We typically don't rub things in each other's faces, for wins. But I think both of us are kind of chomping at the bit to bring that title. And just regardless of who brings it home, the 2 best wing eaters on the planet live here, period. No chestnut argument, no Esper argument, none of those. We want to solidify that this address is where the wings go.
Oh, here's another one.
Yeah.
Justin asks if you get your money's worth when you go to an all-you-can-eat buffet.
Yeah, we've definitely gotten our refills in to-go cups before. Basically, a suggestion of get out. But we try not to go full bore at a lot of those places. Now, if it was a chain, I'm not going to feel quite as bad. But if it's like a mom and pop, we're not going to work somebody.
Sure.
But all you can eat sushi. Really enjoy that, especially when we're out in like Vegas or in California. Amazing. But down in Tampa, you get some solid stuff. Then, basic China buffet is good sometimes. Golden Corral, whatever you go to. Yes, I would say we're the 0.1% of customers that they kind of get worked on. Yeah. We fight for the little guy, is what it is. We fight for everyone else. I'm basically like the Punisher. I'm like the Thomas Jane, if you will, or whatever you want to say. The Punisher of all-you-can-eat buffets. What I'm doing is righteous.
It's very righteous. Thank you.
All right. We know you're a busy man. We're going to get you off here. I want to let you know that we're all rooting for you on July 4th. We'll be watching. You'll probably see at least this fat face in September when you come up for the wing contest because I can't wait for that one.
No, I appreciate it, guys. Like that, I appreciate you guys having me on. I always appreciate the interactions on Twitter and everything. Love the polls you guys have been putting up. I love putting in my oddly professional opinion on that stuff, and obviously the support. And that seriously means the world to me when people. And I just want to make sure that I do my best for you guys and anybody that supports it. So thank you.
Oh, we support you. I mean, you've come on this show ever since we started. You've been on our show every year for 3 years now. Can't thank you enough for coming on. We love you. We always root for you, and especially with this one coming up, you got to at least get to 60. Hit that 60 number.
That's I think that's in the tank. That's in the tank. If my body lets me this year, that's gonna be there. So.
All right, just let you know, if some naked guy comes up though, don't get distracted, okay?
No. I would just completely block him out. Somebody else take care of that. Just tunnel vision.
Water, Gatorade, water. Water, Gatorade, water. All right. All right. Have a great night, bud. Tell Mickey we said hi. Tell Max to keep growing. All right.
You're the man, Nick. Give him hell.
That was Nick Wehry.
Oh no, I'm in the front.
It's all right. We'll change it up. Can't thank him enough for joining us every year. It's so amazing, and I love him. Such a nice, genuine guy, and he loves to have fun, loves to joke around with us. And I'll tell you what, eating 44 hot dogs in 10 minutes, that's a feat in itself. And for especially a guy who wins, getting what does he get 77 down last time or 78? Nick's got his work cut out for him, but he's amazing. I know he could do it. He trains at it. He loves doing it. Especially when you can eat the amount of food, 50 boiled eggs in 3 minutes, Bri. Like,
why do we have to keep going back to the eggs?
Well, it just blows my mind because I just start thinking about pistachios.
The smell.
I get it, but I'm not worried about the smell. I'm worried about so as you're eating, I'm worried about the yolk part because
maybe he just swallows them like a python.
Man,
probably.
If that's the case, that's amazing.
To do that. Absolutely, and
slippery.
honestly, your mind doesn't comprehend what he's telling you, like how much food he's talking about. You almost have to see it in front of you, and then somebody say, "Hey, you have 3 minutes to eat this, or you have 10 minutes to eat all this."
The spam thing blew my mind.
Yeah, and the pistachios blew my mind. I mean, the fact that he's got to pull them open. I'm chipping teeth trying to open like 5 of them in 5 minutes, and it's just like. I would not have the patience for that one.
All I know is I'm like, and it goes somewhere and I can't find it. I'm like, screw it.
Right.
I can see Bri throwing that thing up against the wall and looking at Ashley like, go get me some cashews. I can't do that.
Yeah.
Those
I'm punching the recliner, like
user-friendly nuts.
Yeah.
There's definitely a technique.
Give me the oven roasted peanuts. I don't want these cashews. Well, it's almost like sunflower seeds. That's how I do it. I just bite through the middle and pop out and spit them out.
What?
I do it wrong. I've never done sunflower seeds right. I just throw a handful in my mouth and I just chew on them for a little bit and spit them out.
I just get the ones that are shelled.
Yeah, I don't do it.
He is a professional. And I
was going to ask him, like, what's his wing technique? What do you think? Do you think he just does one hand in and out, one hand in and out, or does he do two?
How clean does the bone have to be is what I want to know.
I
think it's a weight thing.
Yeah, it's a weight.
Oh, right, weight.
Bringing out a weight. But I think what it is, Bri, because once they come out, they get too hot. And you can only, you can't do the suck method.
Thank you, Justin.
They're too hot. You got to wait for them to cool off a little bit so you don't burn your whole face off. But I think that's probably what he does is just grabs the back, splits it, and then just peels it right off and then throws it up.
Yeah.
I do. Hey, I told you the strip and suck method. Just push down on the bottom flat end of the flat, and all the meat comes down to the one side. Pick it up and just throw the bone away.
That's never anybody's.
So
that's
I don't know. I can't do it.
Strip, but I just can't suck.
I'm impressed. Those poor people down in Mohican. That's all I'm thinking about.
I do have another story that I'm not going to do on air. I'll tell you guys after the show that you guys will laugh so hard.
No, I want to know, how does his body digest dairy?
I don't know.
Because a lot of people don't have that enzyme.
I don't know.
That's the scientist in you. It never crossed my mind. I'm sure.
Like, is the
Sure,
cheese
his
thing.
body does things I can't even fathom.
See,
Like,
I
hey-
want to do like blood tests on him while he's doing it, just to look at different numbers. That's and like ratios of.
To be honest, having you on the show made me feel dumber because you said about 6 words that I had no clue was a word. And I'm just sitting here like,
Sorry.
no, it was great because I'm sitting here laughing because yeah. So I was talking to doctor, and what is the metabolic? Yeah, yeah.
I know. Yeah.
What did she just say? What is she talking about? What is that?
Sherry, you could be making up words for like an entire episode, and we
I will
never
next
call
week.
you on it. Yeah, we'd be like, all right, yeah, she's pretty smart. She probably knows what she's talking about.
I'll pull out a couple degrees from the closet there.
Yeah, the sparks on the rotary girder are. Yep. Okay, gotcha.
The flux capacitor. We all know that one.
Yeah, sure.
Hey, that's
Google it.
all right. We'll throw out the redneck dictionary at her.
Oh no.
Initiate.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Initiate.
Uh-huh.
What do you mean initiate? Yeah, initiate some more.
Mayonnaise.
Man, there's a lot of people here today. God, I love that.
That is funny.
There it is. We found our new Sherry.
Oh.
2 science terms and a lie. Oh boy.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea. Instead of trivia.
That was the name of my autobiography, actually.
2 science terms and a lie. Oh, that is a great idea. We might have to do that instead of the top 3. That'd be.
We could mix it up.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, give her a scientific trivia for us one time.
I got.
We need multiple choice though, obviously.
There's top 3, 2 words and a lie. We're going to do our top 3, 2 words and a lie. Figure out which one it is.
Oh, are we going to let the audience? Well, we could poll that too. That'll be fun.
Oh, that'd be even better. But people will Google it and ruin it.
Freaking cheaters, man.
Mm-hmm.
I know. So guys, we're here at the end of the show. We're going to do our top 3. Bri, not much sports, but we had a great time with Nick.
Sure.
What a cool guy.
Oh, he's amazing. He truly is. I think the last time we had him on, he was feeding Max as we were talking to him, and he was feeding Max, and it was actually
so
quite
cute.
funny because Max was talking to him. He's like, "Hold on, I'll get you more food. Just I'm talking to the guys here," and he's truly amazing. They are truly very nice, genuine people.
Oh, I would love to talk to his wife.
We love them. She's amazing. She cracks us up. Like we had her on.
I saw her pictures.
We had her on through, it was a Zoom call, but it was like this, but they're on the road. So Nick was in and out, and all we had was her. And hey, after the show, she's like, "I'm so sorry it came out like." I'm like, "No, it's fine. Like we get it. Like it's okay. It's no big deal. Like, we're
gotta roll with the punches."
Every year around this time, we always have Nick on and see how he's doing. See how, because when he does his prep for the hot dog eating contest. Now, granted, he did tell us that he starts out with the cheap hot dogs first because he has to so many of them. And then, then he starts getting up to the Nathans there a little
Those are expensive. That's why they can't do Hebrew National, because they're so expensive.
Oh, Sherry. All right, let's do our top 3 and get out of here. Let me throw this up right now. With summer technically being tomorrow, Bri and Sherry, I wanted to do our top 3 things that scream summertime to us. Whatever screams summertime to you, how you feel. I'll go first to give you an example. So my number 3, hearing that ice cream truck run up and down the road. You hear that thing, you know it's summertime. My number 2, Bri, is with golf. Once you see the Memorial in the U.S. Open, you know it is summertime here in the United States. And My number one, Bri, has got to be popsicles are flying off the shelf. Any sort of popsicle, any sort of ice cream stands that open up that aren't open during the fall, just stuff like that. Being outside and just enjoying an ice cream stand, absolutely amazing. So those are my top three. Let's go, Brian. Give me your top three.
All right. I kind of trimmed it down here. My number three is golf. Just playing golf, getting out on the golf course and smacking around with some friends. And yeah, obviously it takes 4 or 5 hours, so it's a long day, but you only get to do it for maybe 4 or 5 months out of the year. So that's my number three. My number two, sitting out on a patio, drinking a cold beer. There's just nothing like it. I look forward to it every year. We only get X amount of months to do it. And then my number one is, and unfortunately, I think I'm doing one this year, but it's coming up here, I think next Friday, going to the Shania Twain concert at Blossom. So concerts at Blossom are just
I forgot about
notch for me. I wish I'd do more, and maybe I'll try to talk my wife into doing more, but a lot of times they push them towards the back of the summer. So we're in the football season at that point.
Justin.
Yeah, Justin put up, I'll put him up.
Okay.
Where is it at? Justin put up his top three: bikinis, hookers, and blow.
We both clicked it at the same time.
So, and then Casey said freezer pops, fireworks, and sweet tea. I forgot about sweet tea.
Oh, yeah.
Brian, you ever have sun tea?
No, I don't know what sun tea is. What's sun tea?
So sun tea is normally made
Fun.
in glass. So you just stir the tea bags. You get your water in with your tea bags, and you just sit it out and let the sun kind of cook in the flavors, heat up the water, and it kind of bleeds in. We always used to do it back home. You just throw in like 3 bags of tea, fill it up with water, and it's normally in a glass jar, and just sit outside and let the sun kind of take care of the baking of it.
Okay, nice.
All right. And cheese. All right. Sherry, give me your top 3 before Justin starts getting excited.
Okay. Okay, we're going backwards. I'll do number 3. Sweating in places I forgot sweat.
That is true. That is. Yeah.
Number
There's
2.
not many of those for me.
Let me tell you. Anyway, number 2.
I don't forget.
Oh, I forget. Number 2, mosquitoes.
Oh, wow. You're going. Okay. Yeah. Those things.
I'm not
Love
outside.
mosquitoes. Oh, okay. I got
Mosquitoes.
you. Reminds you
In the
of
summer.
Okay.
You got to remember where I'm from.
Nice.
They used to like crop dust over Palm Beach County. You'd see the airplane coming, and you know what they're spraying for? Skeeters.
Yep.
And number 1, since now I'm an Ohioan, I'm going to say all those little ice cream shops or stands that closed and reopened. So that's my number 1 new favorite thing for summer.
I forgot one. Justin threw it in here. Lightning bugs.
Yeah.
Sure.
Bri, and you and I have worked with these sons of bitches, and I call them the kamikazes.
Oh.
Gnats that fly in and get in your
Up your nose?
No, not even your eye. Like for Bri and I, when we used to work, it used to be work like we would have to wear sunglasses at like 6 a.m. because these little kamikazes would come out of nowhere, and you get a whole swarm of them, and you see them coming, you can't move, and then it's just like
Terrible.
like that thing. And then the one rogue one that you don't see
Gets in the back of your throat?
No, hits you right in the eyeball, and you're like, and then you're trying to stop. You're driving the machine. You're trying to stop, figure out what hit you. You know, just like that guy come off the grassy knoll. Like that's how bad it is.
You need hazard pay for that.
God, I hate those things, Bri.
I've eaten many of them. Early morning protein.
Extra protein.
They
It's good
just
for
kind
you.
of go right in. Yep. I'm a mouth
just snort 'em.
breather, so yeah, I don't do that. Got my mouth agape, and it's just inhaling them.
Just
maybe that could be my my competitive eating record.
Yeah, snorting gnats. Gnat snorting.
How many swarms of gnats are you going to eat on the way to work today?
Lots.
Jeez.
Infinite.
All right, bro. Let's get the trivia. You said who was the last Browns player to throw 30 or more touchdowns?
Yep.
I am going to go with Brian Sipe on that one. The reason why is I believe I heard this, and I don't think it was you because I know Brian Sipe had that one year where he was just amazing. But I think the last person to do it, because I think Baker had what? He had 20?
No, he had more than that. He might have had 27. He got close to it. He might have had 29. He set a rookie record. I honestly thought it was Derek Anderson the year that he made the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, that's what I
So
kind of.
I saw a list of so this just popped up. I get random lists and stuff like that. So it had the last 30 plus touchdown passer for each franchise. So there are two franchises that have a longer drought than the Browns do. Do you know? Can you take a guess?
Jets?
No, not the Jets. I forget who the Jets' last one was. Maybe Pennington.
Not the Raiders. Broncos?
No, they have Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning, I think, had like 55 one year. The Bears have never done it.
What?
Yeah, never. You think the Browns have never had a good quarterback? The Bears. Wow. You look back in their history, Jim McMahon's like Rex Grossman, Jim McMahon are their best quarterbacks. And then the other one was Washington, 67. Really? Sonny Jurgensen. Sounded familiar. I don't know who he is, but
I like the last name.
Didn't I thought Sexy Rexy threw
for Washington?
Yeah.
I guess not. Yeah. No, I mean you would think like RG3. He was rookie of the year that year, but I guess he didn't throw for 30.
No, because he ran a lot too, and then that's what kind of ruined his career.
Right.
Well, it is what it is. Join us October 22nd at the Melt Barn Grill in Independence. We're having flyers. Sherry is now working on flyers and posters now for all that. It will be, Bri, a Dine to Donate day at Melt Barn Grill. So 20% of all your meals will be going to City Dogs Cleveland. We will also be holding a donation rack there. As we always say, pass the hat. If you can donate, donate. If you don't want to donate, that's completely fine. We're doing this for City Dogs. We're going to have a blast with them. Other than that, Bri, I got to tell you guys a story off the show because you're going to love it. Charlie Mann, God, I love that kid. God, I love that kid. The one-liners that come out of that kid's mouth. All right, so we're here at the end of the show. Thank you guys so much for watching. We will be back next Tuesday at 7 p.m. with some more fun stuff in store. I can't wait to see this. We might even play two truths and a lie with Sherry. Can't wait for that. All right, so on that note, Sherry, tell them good night, please.
Good night, everybody.
Bri, God bless them.
God bless you. God bless America.
All right, I'm that fat guy. We want to thank our troops and first responders for everything we do. Want to thank Harold, Kheel, and City Dogs for sponsoring our show. Please like, subscribe our YouTube channel. It means a lot to us to do this show, and we love doing it, and we love bringing it to you guys. And thank you guys so much in the comments. Even Justin, thank you in the comments. And on that note, we are definitely uncorked, unloading. We're out. We will see you later.